Hey guys, what's going on? I just want to take a minute to tell you about the new winch I got for Frankencat. I had to replace the old one. It was an old WARN A2000 from who knows when, probably back in '98 when Frankencat was built. The brake didn't work on it anymore, it's worn out, and anytime you go through any water with sand in it, the sand would settle around the planetary gears and would lock it up. So I had to take it all apart, clean it, grease it, put it back together, and I just got tired on that. So what I got was one off of Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. It's a 4,500 pound winch. I wanted to test it out, see if it'll work. First thing I did is hook it to a tree. Of course, that's the obvious first step. See if it could pull itself up a tree. So straight vertical, it lifted its own weight. It did pretty good. And then to test the 4,500 pound pulling capacity, my Jeep is about 4,000 pounds, maybe a little bit less. So I hooked it up with the trailer first, which is about 6,500, and pulled it up a slight incline. It did okay, but I could tell it was a real struggle. I didn't want to burn it up since it's not rated for that. So I dropped the trailer, and pulling just the Jeep by itself, it pulled it up without any trouble. I did it in like 30-second bursts because I don't want to overheat anything. But when I was done, everything was cool to the touch. So not cold, but it was just barely warm. So it's a pretty cool setup. It comes with everything you need, all the cables. The contactor also has a wireless remote module as well, so you get two wireless remotes. The winch contactor, the cables, switch for the handlebars. It comes with synthetic rope. It's pretty cool. So wired it all up. Okay, so the one thing I did notice is the cables, there's two sets of cables. One goes from the battery to the contactor, and then the second set goes from the contactor to the winch. They were like reversed as far as the length goes. I needed the shorter ones from the battery to the contactor, and then the longer ones I put from the contactor to the winch. If I did it the other way around, the contactor would have been up somewhere under the front rack, which I wanted it under the seat. So it mounted pretty easily. All the bolt holes lined up. Works pretty good. So I'll let you know how it goes if I have any troubles with it. Usually I don't use the winch too often except for plowing. Frankencat doesn't get stuck very often. It plows through everything, and if it does get stuck, it's light enough that I can just lift it up and set it out at least one end at a time. So I'm sure there's others that will tell you different, but that's the truth of the matter. But I'll let you know if I have any issues with it in the future. And until then, let's go have some fun.